I went snowboarding when I was 18 and became hooked on it. I managed to scrape the money together to get a snowboarding holiday, and I absolutely loved it. Everything about it was amazing. And I was on the ski lift, sitting next to a guy, another snowboarder, and I said, what am I going to do? I can't afford to do this all the time. I said, why don't you start skating? So I bought a skateboard. I started skateboarding pretty much just on my own. Then I went to university, met a bunch of skaters there, and they were the most welcoming group of people, the most open-minded group of people, and friendly group of people that I'd ever met. And I just wanted to skate and be around those guys. And I loved the creativity of skateboarding. I loved the feel that you got when you learned a new trick. I loved the feel just simply riding along on a skateboard was an amazing feeling. I was skating all the way through university at Manchester, and I was just about to leave to go off and do a master's course at Lancaster University, and I was asked at the same time whether I'd like to manage the skate park as part of Projects. Projects as an organisation started out in 2004, set up as a Christian organisation to do something positive in the skate scene in Manchester. A few years earlier, the council had banned skateboarding in the city centre, at least in certain areas of the city centre. There was a bit of an outcry from the skate scene saying, well, if you've banned us skating in the city centre, what alternatives are you going to provide us? So the council said, okay, well, we'll get some money together and we'll get you a skate park. So they gave them this. One of my colleagues and I used to sit outside on a little table to kind of sign people in to the skate park. And we did that for several months and realised there were two major problems. One was that we were freezing cold and we needed somewhere to sit that was going to be warm and sheltered. And the second problem was that during the winter months, the skate park was only open for maybe a couple of hours. So it was hardly a great alternative to that had been offered to the skate scene. So I applied for some funding and we got mains electricity and we got these floodlights put in. But for a scene the size of Manchester, you really needed a bigger space. There was then about 2,000 skaters in Manchester, and we were really focusing on skateboarders. So we said we need to have a bigger space. Now, there'd already been plans to build the skate park on the other side of this little capillary road over here. So we spoke to the council and said, are these plans still underway? And they said, yeah, it's in our gateway process. And that's when I realised we really needed to get funding from somewhere else to really give the gateway process a little bit of a shove. So we went to Sport England and put a proposal to them and submitted this proposal, and Sport England said, yeah, you know, we'll give you the money, but they said, but you're going to need to get match funding. We applied then to a group called the Youth Capital Fund. From what I was told at the time, we were granted the largest bid ever from that group, which was £116,600. And then we went back to the council and to cut a long, painful story short, they eventually agreed to give us the £50,000. We then started the process of building the skate park. And, well, I'll show you it. It's really good. So this is the cafe area here. It's part and parcel. We're still working and developing that. And there's Zach, one of our key members of staff, working hard, keeping things clean and tidy and things. And this is the skate park. It's made up of quarters, flat banks, ledges. We've got steps and rails. and we've got a nice mellow hip in the middle there. So we wanted to make this one completely unique. We thought, well, Manchester's got a unique skate scene, it's got an amazing skate scene, it's got a skate scene that attracts people from all across the country to come and visit it. So we need to have a skate park that represents that as well. So this is what we came up with. Part of the remit of what we're trying to do here, well, there's two things really. One is we're trying to increase the number of people who, let me put this a different way. We're trying to make skateboarding available to everybody who wants to have a go at doing it. For a long, long time, skateboarding was really something that wasn't that easy to access. And from people in certain positions in society, and often the people affected by things like that are people in the lower kind of socio-economic groups. They're not able to access facilities like this. They're not able to access skateboarding in the way that they probably want to. So we do beginner sessions to get young people, local people, people from even outside Manchester, but they can come from anywhere really. And the other side of what we're trying to do is provide a facility that really pushes skateboarders who are at the top of their game. So part of the design of this skate park was to allow people to push themselves further and further. We wanted to make it better for those groups. So, and also because the facility aims to stay low cost for the reasons I've mentioned before, that we want to get more people in from different backgrounds. We also want to try to get it as close to the promise that was made to the skate scene from the council as possible, which is an alternative to street skating. I feel as though I'm able to leave when I've got the skate park to a position where it's able to secure its own income without relying on outside funding. Now, at the moment we don't receive any outside funding and we're breaking even, which is great. And it involves a lot of time and effort pumping into selling our coaching work to schools. So a lot of work goes into doing that. I want to create a sustainable organisation that really is, you know, energised and energetic, and constantly pushing out in new directions, saying what can we do, what kind of amazing, awesome events can we put on that just make this part of the city come alive for skateboarders.